Hello everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel. I am Zakaria the Ghost. Every time you see this title, Mountain, Rivers and Caves, you know I'm about to share a story, guys. And this time I want to talk about Magoebaskloof. There was a time when I was in the city, Moria. When I was there, I remember there was the other guy who came there and he said he is looking for about 300, not 400 men who are willing to go and help him, who will follow him. I was, one of those guys who decided to follow him, and I didn't know where we were going. I just found out when we were in the truck that actually we were going to Magoebaskloof, and our destination, I think it was on that side of Mojaji, if I remember correctly, because of we were in a truck. I remember we were at the back of the truck. We were lots of men, when they started telling me that we are going to pass Magoebaskloof, and I was just a bit, nervous. I was, afraid, because growing up we had a lot of stories about Magoebaskloof. We grew up in Tembisa with people who come from that side of, Zanin, that side of Magoebaskloof, especially people who speak Selobedu, a lot. They used to tell us a lot about the place. And I remember they used to tell us that, the mountain, it is so deadly, it is so dangerous in a way that, there are so many cars which fell on that mountain and they cannot even go and rescue you. If you just, lose control of your car, it's just over. And they were saying there is the other side where there is still the mountain, and the other side, it's just a hole that goes down and nobody knows where that hole goes to. We used to hear those kind of stories. And when I Google online and I check like the amounts of accidents which are happening every year, I couldn't even get the numbers. But we know that there is always accidents because that road, it is very dangerous. So I was just afraid, because they said you don't have to speed on that mountain and you don't have to be too slow because of somebody can just come and, hit you from behind. So those are the kind of stories that we used to hear when we were young, and you grow up having that kind of an imagination of a place which is very scary, which is very dark. But I didn't feel that when I was in a truck, because I remember somebody was telling me that, no, relax, man. The guy who's driving the truck always drives to this road. He knows the road, he drives here all the time. And I think we had about 2 or 3 trucks that day, and we were going to collect firewood around Mojaji, because I don't know those places well, but I know that we passed Zanin and we passed a place where they said this is Mojaji's place. And there is roads. They tell you that this one goes to that location, that one goes to that location. And one thing which really happened on that day is that when we arrived to where we were going, we find out that we were not actually going to the bush where we go and collect fire from the bush. We just went to this other place whereby the guy, he is in the timber business. He is going to the forest and he cut the tree and he is selling those timber tree to hardwares, around South Africa. Because I remember he was just telling me that he has contracts with a lot of, places or a lot of hardwares where they are selling like the building material and everything, and they get those kind of, timber trees, poles and everything from him, because he was doing a great job. And now he showed me, people that were working for him, and he told me that during that time, it is like 7 years, not 10 years back, he was like spending 171,000 a month salary when he's paying all his workers, and he just told me how he started, because we just connected, me and him, because I just told him that I love the place. The place is beautiful. And he said, what do you like the most about the place? I said, I love the trees. These timber trees, they just remind me Wrong Turn. They remind me the franchise Wrong Turn. And when I see these trees, I feel like I can just come here and produce a great movie. Now, he sat down with me and he listened to me when I'm like telling him how I think the movie should be, what can happen. And he was just blown away by the way I was thinking. And I was a bit, yeah. And now he started sharing how he started his business. And because of I told him that when I see those trees, I see money. When I see those trees, I see business. And for the first time, he just had somebody who is not even from that place seeing the opportunity right there. And he started telling me his story because of when he started cutting trees, people were like, this guy is crazy. Because they didn't see the vision. They didn't see what he was working on. But years later, they start realizing that actually there is something that can come out of these trees, And it was a great experience because he told me that he started, selling ice blocks at the taxi rank at Zanin. Things were very bad. And he moved from Zanin, he went to Polokwane. He started selling ice blocks. From ice blocks now, we started selling ice creams. And after selling ice creams, now things became, a bit different because he had a little bit of money. And he started to buy himself, a 1400, Nissan 1400. And he started the business of timber tree now. He started cutting, those trees. And he started making those poles whereby when people are building, like constructors, construction business, when they're building their houses, they normally need those kind of, timber blocks. And even now, we still need it the most because of when we are doing our roofings, when we are building our houses and stuff. And sometimes even if when we are, doing fencing, most of the time we use that because of it is strong. It can hold the whole structure, So it's one of those things. So I spent time with him and he felt, so relieved in a way that he can start sharing a lot of stuff with me. And the reason why we were there is because of now we were going to get, the blocks that he is not using. Because when he cut the tree, he has some other blocks that he's not using. So he was actually donating that to the church, whereby we can use those kind of timber blocks if we are cooking and we are making fire. And my time spending with him, it was an eye-opener because of here was the man who doesn't even know me, who just saw me for that day, and he felt free to sit down with me and share the success, that he has with me. He shared the wisdom that he have with me. He shared the experience, the difficulties that he faced in business when he was with me. And for me, it was a blessing because of I've learned a lot from him. And I knew that, he doesn't tell those kind of stories to anybody, and today, when I look at that timber business and when I look at, those timber blocks at the hardwares, they just remind me the story that, there was a man who just decided to share a great story with me. And in life, you might underestimate yourself because of you are telling your stories to different people or to wrong people, because we always searching for a positive feedback. But when I look at that experience of him telling me everything because of I told him what I was thinking, I told him that I was planning to write, a horror film about that place, and he decided to open up because of he understood what I was talking about, is something that gives me, that bit of a courage of saying, you know what, there are people who understand and there are people who can believe in what you are saying because of they see it. Sometimes we want to feed a lot from the positive feedback, and sometimes we really don't need, the positive feedback. All you need is your story, and you need to keep telling your story as much as you can. And by the way, I am still working on that film. I am going to change the South African film industry because I'm not going to be, doing all the crime stories just like everybody. If God, bless me, if God give me time, to put the things that I have in my head together, I believe that, my name can be one of the greatest names in Africa, if not around the world. But it's all about, putting in the work. It's all about believing in yourself. It's all about taking that little positive that you can get out there. And it's all about also embracing the negative feedbacks that you're going to get, because of you are going to get better by those negative feedbacks because you will feed from the negative energy. There is one thing about me. I read all the comments. I listen to what everybody is saying. And some people, I understand that they are just desperate. Some people, they just hit the rock bottom, and some people, they just reach the ceiling. And it doesn't sit well with them when you say certain things that they know they cannot say those things. And they decided to just be mean at me. But for me, I embrace that, and I'm feeding from that energy. I need that negative energy so that I can do better. I need that negative energy so that I can just feed this animal in me and I can keep going. Because sometimes when you are in the jungle, you need to be the lion. You need to go for it. You need to tell your story. You need to keep on putting the work. Today I was like, I'm on 997 subscribers. I need only 3 subscribers to reach 1,000 subscribers. I just want to wait. I don't want to put any content. I want to see if I can reach. I'm like, you know what? I cannot wait. I just want to say something. Let me just put content out there, regardless of what will happen. Because remember, I have a copyright issue, So some are saying, you're not going to be monetized if you have a copyright. Some are saying, YouTube might balance, look at your content if they can put it out there. You know what? It is what it is. They might give me a benefit of a doubt, or they might put me on the scale and they try to balance, if they can give me a chance or not a chance. We will see. We will see. But my job is done. My job is to put content out there. My job is to say something that will make you think. My job is to educate you where I can. My job is to offend you where I can. My job is to make you happy if I can. My job is to share. Let just one person listen to what I'm saying and feel good about it or feel better about it. I've done my job. And I appreciate you guys showing me love and support. Thank you.